Okay, today it's 7:30 in the morning and I've popped across to this farmer's field. I'm on a lay-by, I'm near Coventry, and in the field there I'm going to do a little bit of macro. I did come yesterday morning. When I come yesterday morning, I come about 11 o'clock. It was getting quite warm, there was a few insects about, there was a little bit skitty, they wouldn't stay still, so I couldn't stack anything. I've come this morning at 7:30 and it's a little bit colder, and hopefully we can get some stacks done, but we'll see. So I'm using the OM1mk1 and I'm using the 60mm macro lens there. I've also got the Raynox 250 for anything really small. I can put that on front of the lens and get real close to the small stuff. I'm using the Godex V360 version 1, and I've also got a couple of cloths here. I've got a green cloth and a yellow cloth there, and what I actually do with them, if the background's not very nice, I'll put that behind the insect to try and make a nice coloured background if I get that sort of chance. Also, I've also brought with me today, I brought this little gadget, and it's a mister. If I just spray that there, you maybe just see that coming out, the steam coming out there. All it is a very, very fine mist of water vapour, and if I get the chance and I can put a little bit of mist on them. There's probably a mist on them anyway, but if there isn't, maybe I'll get that chance. It just makes that picture a little bit more dynamic. So I'm going to go pop in the field now and get my macro gear and take some shots. Waterproof boots. Mister in pocket. Get that camera and we're ready to go. So this is the field. I'm going to come and see if we can find any critters in. So I'm going to go ahead now and see if I can find something. Okay, not the most exciting thing I've found, but I'm going to turn me back towards the sun, and there's some sort of a slug. In fact, there's two on there, on that flower head there. So I'm going to take a single shot of that and see what we get with it. It's a start. I'm going to go in. What I normally do is I normally go into fully manual, and with it, if I'm doing single shots, I'll probably go to something like f11, f13, probably about 50th second to try and keep the background a little bit brighter, but we'll see how that pans out. And I normally go on to manual focus, but in this case I'm going to go autofocus because it's quite a large object. It's filling the frame, so I want to just get it in the centre, then I can focus on it. And let's have a look. Yeah, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn it up to 250th of a second, which is maximum sync speed, to try and get a black background. Yeah, so I've now got a pure black background. I'm going to tip it up so I can. Okay, so that's my first shot of the day. Put it back to where it was. That's the first shot of the day. It's only a little slug, but it's a start. We'll see what else we can find. Okay, down in here we've got some tiny little sort of shot. I don't know what they are, they're too small to see by eye at the moment. But the 60mm lens with something this small it'll be too small a frame. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the Raynox 250 onto the front, and that'll effectively take this off, because this is a micro four thirds, so on a 60mm that's a 1:1 macro lens, but with a 2x crop factor it's actually two times magnification, and if I put the Raynox on, it takes it to about 4 times magnification. So we're really punching in now, so I'm going to take a shot of that now. Okay, so I've got the Raynox on here now and it's moving about quite a lot. I want to turn it back towards the sun. I'm going to move the camera. So here's the little beetle. That's one shot of him. 2 shots of him. What I've actually done, I've got the actual, because I'm doing single shots, I can put this on TTL. I've got TTL and I've got +1 stop at the moment. I'm shooting at 250th of a second, so it's its maximum shutter sync speed. So if I point it up to the clouds now, and we're actually shooting at f13 at 250th of a second, we're actually going to get a black picture, and we're only being lit by the flash. So we're going to get him with a very dark background. So I'll take a few shots and see what we get, and when we get him, I'll pop them on the end. There he is, right on the top there. I've got quite a few shots of him there, but it's a bit not very dynamic. I want him on the edge of the plant, I want him with a black background, but he's crawling around at the moment, so it's just a matter of waiting really. There he is, he's on the top now, so if I get him. Of course okay, so that looks like it's a weevil when you get close up to it. You can't see it by, well, you can by eye, but it's very, very small. So with the Raynox there, it's taken up to 4 times magnification, and I would say it's quarter fill in the frame, maybe less than a quarter, but that's big enough to make a dynamic picture. So I'll just take a couple more. I'm waiting for him to appear. I just managed to get a little shot of a common green shield bug on here. He's gone now. I thought I'd take a quick shot before I did a little setup, but he's shot off anyway. But I got a shot, and I'll pop him up on the end. Okay, so we've got our little earwig there, and I'm going to take a shot of him, but I'm going to use the yellow as a background. So I'm going to slow my camera down to a 50th of a second. So I'm going to slow it down to a 50th of a second. And I'm going to shoot at about F11. And I'm going to use the backdrop as a yellow background. So I'm going to just, he's in there somewhere. If I just pull the leaf back a little bit, it's not going to go far. So if I pull that back there, and now use that background there, so I've just found an old rotten tree, and I've pulled a little bit of bark off, and underneath there is some sort of a millipede, centipede, something. It's not active, it's just sat there really, curled in a ball. I don't think I'm going to stack this. I'm going to take a single shot at F11. In fact, I'll take a single shot at F14. The lens is quite good. It's still pretty good at F14, and it'll look more or less all be in focus, and it's only a millipede really. So I'm going to take a quick shot. So I'm just trying to find it in the finder. Okay, I think that just needs a tiny bit more flash. So I'm going to turn the flash up a small amount. Take another shot. I'm going to turn it back towards the sun so it's not influenced by the sun. Take this shot again. So that's just a simple shot of a millipede. Lift a bit of bark up, you'll find something. There's always something under there. It's warming up a little bit. The flying insects are about now, but they're getting very skitty. I managed to find 1 or 2 little things, but I'm going to carry on going around the field and see what else we can find before the sun comes out. And it's a little bit too late then, because they'll get a little bit difficult to get near. So I'm going to put this back, let it carry on its merry way. Okay, I found some sort of little flying insect. It looks wet through. It's trying to dry out, so I'm going to take a little shot of it. I've got the Raynox on there on the 16mm, so it's pretty small, so we'll get a reasonable shot. I'm going to turn it back towards the sun and take a shot. I'm on TTL. I'm going to do a single shot. I don't think this is really worth stacking, but I'll do a single shot and let's see how that turns out. So let's find the little thing. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to turn that flash back down, and also what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my little sprayer out and give it a little mist in. So I'm going to switch it on, give it a little mist in. Hopefully it won't fly off, and it's dropped off. So I sprayed it with a little bit of mist and it dropped off, so at least I got a shot of it. So it just looked like some more, I don't know what type of fly it is, but it's a fly. It's a flying insect. It ain't warmed up yet, but he decided to drop off when I sprayed it with a mister. So I'm going to go ahead, go get a little bit further, see what else I can find. Okay, I just found another ladybird. They're absolutely everywhere. They're common to photograph, but it's good to practice. So if you find one and you get a chance to take a photograph of it, hone your skills. So oh, it's got dew all over it. Oh, it's quite interesting actually. So if I can maybe bend that down, and hopefully it'll stay with us. Or will it? Okay, so I want to take one from the front and not get my fingers in. So I'm taking a few from different angles. That's slightly bright. So I'm going to turn the flash down. I'm on TTL, so I'm undercompensating rather than overcompensating. So that is plus 1.3 stops, according to this. Okay, so I'm going to put that back to where it was, and I'm going to get the, hopefully, get the cloth out. Get the cloth out. So I've got a yellow background, and I'm going to find somewhere to put it on, probably here. So I'll just turn the camera on. Okay, so I put the yellow cloth against the, to give it some sort of yellow background, and hopefully I should be able to get a nice yellow background. Okay, I've got that 1/50 of a second in the background. It's pretty bright. The ladybird is lovely, so I'm going to darken it down. So I'm going to take it from a 50th. I'm going to do about 100th of a second, see if it darkens that background down a little bit. So the flash ain't changing, just the simple ambient. So a little bit more, and I'm going to go to F8. I think we're about there. I think the flash is overpowering, so I'm going to turn that down. So the things with the ladybird, they don't really go far. As long as you don't bash them about, or bang them about, or knock them, they'll stay there pretty much for a good few minutes. So it gives you a chance to alter your settings. So I'm turning the flash down a little bit because again, when it's shiny beetle, it's like firing into a mirror. So you get a big reflection. So I want to try and drop that reflection down as much as I can. I'm going to come back a little bit now. What I've actually done, I've come away from the backdrop because the backdrop is looking slightly in focus. So I'm going to come back to here. If this was a flying insect, you would have no chance. That's looking much better. Still a little bit bright on the flash there, so I'm going to tone that down a little bit more. And yeah, I think that's quite a nice little shot for a ladybird. Yeah. So that's just a simple picture of a ladybird there. It was on a little bit of a grass stick stem thing there. So what I've gone and done is I've just put a yellow background cloth there. In fact, what I'm going to do for a finish on that one, I've got a green background cloth, so I'm going to change that to green. This might be a bit over the top, and do the same shot again. So I may just put a little bit of spray on it. At this point it might decide to that's just a really, really fine mist of water. Just puts a few drops on it. So we'll try it again with the green on it. That's okay, but I can't really see its face. It's hard to turn it round. If you manipulate it too much, it'll decide to... There we go, I see its face now. Let's have a quick look now. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, quite like that now. I'm just going to try and get it a little bit closer as I can, and this is the final shot. Yep. So that's it with the green background, and with the yellow background, I'm going to put it back on the ground somewhere so it can carry on with its, whatever it's doing. So thank you very much, Ladybird, and I'm going to pop around the field now and see what else I can find. Okay, I've just found a little shield bug. I'm just going to bring it to the camera, let it focus. I don't know if that's focused okay yet. Okay, so I found that little shield bug. And I go ahead and I'm going to take a couple of shots of that. So I'm going back to my settings again now. I'm going to go for a black background to start with. So I'm going to take a shot to see what we get. It's very, very small. I've got my Raynox on there. I'm going to go into manual focus, so I can hand focus. Yeah, and I've sprayed him with, I put a little bit of mist on him, some very fine water mist. Doesn't do him any harm, it's the harmless. I'm going to put this back exactly where I found it, more or less. It's just warming up, getting ready for its daily routine, really. It's on a leaf, it was on a killed up leaf. I've killed the leaf back a little bit. And I'm going to take another shot. I think I can maybe even stack this one. So I took a couple of shots of that. I'm now going to turn the flash up. I think it's a little bit dark, a tiny bit dark. So I'm on TTL and I'm going to plus a seventh of a stop. I'm not going to stack this one. I've decided a single shot will be absolutely fine. So when I'm out today and I'm doing macro shoot work, I'm actually using the 60mm macro. I'm into manual. I normally manually focus to 1:1, so I can actually focus by pulling it into focus like that. And when it's in focus, bang, you take your shot. Now I put it on TTL, and what happens there is the flash will flash a little beat of light out. It'll see the light, it'll react to the light, it'll send the correct amount of light out. So you can control the exposure by turning the compensator up and down. So I've got it at the moment, I've got it on 2/50th of a second, and I'm going to take one more shot now. I'm going to take a shot now, and we're going to have a dark background. So if we go to... So that's 250th of a second. I'm now going to drop it to a 50th of a second. Okay, so I'm going to go to a little bit more flash, and this time I'm going to go into autofocus. See how we get on with that. So if I go to... I'm just manipulating it, turn it around to try and get as much of the insect in as I can. So I'm going to tip it down now. Okay, so that's a little shield beetle. It's a brown one. I don't know what earlier on I took one of the common green one, but this is a browny bronzy colour one. I've put a few water droplets on it, took the photograph. It seems to be okay, so I'm going to pop it down, see what else I can find. Popped him safely back, let's see what else we can find. Using Google search, here's a couple of things we found on the day. This is a cucumber orb weaver, about 5mm, and this is a golden blue longhorn beetle, normally around up to 15mm. And this was a nomad bee. We found a nomad bee. They're normally around 7 to 13mm. The last one I also found, which I didn't video, was a parasite wasp, normally around 10mm. This was a particularly small one, probably around 5mm. Okay, so I've been out a couple of hours now and I've seen quite a few little bits and bobs. This is just sort of basic macro. I'm using the Codex 360, V360 version 1, and it's a homemade diffuser. I'm using the Raynox when I've got a really small insect, so I put that on the front there. I'm mainly using manual, I'm mainly using TTL. I've not had a chance for any stacking today. Everything, I can't seem to find much more at the moment, so I'm going to pack down, have a look at these, process these and see what we get, and we'll pop them on the hen. So next time I come out, hopefully it'll be warmer, the insects will be out earlier, and if I come out early enough when it's cool, then maybe I should be able to stack them. So at the moment I've got what I've got. I'm going to get home there now. So you can go out with your camera and you can get some macro with this is not what you call basic equipment, but with basic techniques. And so pop out, have a go, and I will catch you on the next one.